Hello, everyone. It's Fred again from Notes of a Nomad, video number 302. Today, I want to talk about communication, leadership, and the leader in our country, Mark Carney, and combine those three items. So let's start with communication. Recently, I've had some discussions about leadership, and this quote has come up in that discussion. And that is, no matter what job you have in life, your success will be determined 5% by your academic credentials, 15% by your professional experiences, and 80% by your communication skills. Now, those percentages may not be 100% accurate, but it does express the fact that communication is essential in every aspect of our lives, not only in our family and our friends and our workplace, but in our communities and even in our countries. And effective communication can influence behavior, motivate people to take action, and create systematic change. And this is what I believe the new Prime Minister of Canada is doing effectively. Mark Carney has learned and is addressing the circumstances that are even some most difficult and even the unpleasant ones. He's had to explain consequences, you know, for not resolving issues. And even though it's hard, follow through on those consequences if necessary. And that is sign of good communications and leadership. Can acknowledge complaints, be a great listener, demonstrate how you can make change based on what you've heard. These are some of the things he's practicing. And demonstrate authenticity. And when you're honest and authentic, most people want to support your direction, even if they might not agree with your political party, but they agree with you, even though you acknowledge maybe some of your concerns and you don't yet have all the answers. Recently, in the last week, he has announced that Canada and Alberta striked up a new partnership, to uh, lower emissions and unlock our natural resources and to build a stronger, more sustainable and competitive economy. And if we build that economy, it'll make us powerful enough to be effective in our emissions control and help with climate change. It's important. And if there was ever a time that we could use, sincere communication in our lives, this is it. So he's also become a great salesman for our country. He's traveled extensively. People saying, but he's always in another country. He has traveled probably more than any G7 leader in this past year. Recently, he was in Abu Dhabi and he was selling Canada, as he has done in Europe, as he has done in Asia. And that is the sign of a good leader. In 1985, when I came back to Canada after being in South Africa, living there for 22 years, the one thing I noticed, I said, this is a fantastic country because I had traveled from East Coast to West Coast, all the way from Vancouver Island to Newfoundland and up to the Arctic. I've been in all 10 provinces and all three territories. And let's be honest, this is not an easy country to be the leader of because it's like having 13 different little countries. Everybody has their own requirements. And the fact that he has got the Premier of Alberta to say, yes, he has opened the door for her to do some things that will probably help this country enormously to even lower our emissions for a climate change. Obviously, unlock our natural resources, which Alberta has an abundance of, and help us build a stronger and sustainable and competitive economy. And it'll raise the living standard of all 40 million Canadians. So that is what I have seen And I am looking forward. I have my fingers crossed that he's going to be able to do that because he is taking politically some very dangerous actions because people will say, oh, no, he's doing this. And that's part of being a politician. And you could lose your job. They can vote you out. But I believe that people will see what he's doing and see the impact of what he's doing. And he will become, hopefully, one of the remembered as a person who's had one of the major impacts on the success of this country, not only in Canada, but the geopolitical impact that Canada can have on the world. So, with that, I will say adios, au revoir, wishing you, your family, and friends lots of love and laughter, and wishing you all the best in your communication and leadership skills. You don't have to be a leader of the country. You can just be a leader in your family, help make people become the best they can be. And you're a leader. So au revoir. Until next time, from Fred and Notes of a Nomad.